trying to find an equilibrium here with the incoming versus outgoing happiness. So it seems like my whole city is gaining tons of happiness all the time for some reason. Probably to do with like this is just after the 2.0 release, so I think that now they've tweaked like where happiness comes from. It seems like they're just gaining happiness from having services tied to them anyway. So the tax rate is 13%, so I'm going to set it to 20%, try to get these happiness values low enough. Alright. So every hour, they lose like 100 happiness from the taxes. And then every 5 minutes, they seem to gain like 20 happiness. Look at this. So it's 1658. And now it's going up. It's up 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 30, 100, 600, a bajillion, a trillion, zillion. So even with maxed out tax rate, I can't seem to get them to stop being so damn happy. Which is causing, like we said, when people max out on happiness, and then they also max out on money, then they leave the city, and it causes tons of traffic. So I was trying to piss people off enough, and that's the current goal of this city, is to figure out how to piss my people off. And obviously having a 20% tax rate doesn't do it. Yep. So this building goes all the way up to max happiness. So many like these little green foot soldiers walking around, right? These are the people that have picked up some happiness from a store, and now they're trying to find a resident that needs that happiness. So they walk around and try to find the nearest place that needs happiness. And with cars, if they go around and they find that there are no houses that need happiness, then they drive out of the city. But with pedestrians, I'm not sure that happens. Whoa. He just hopped in a car, I think. Unless I'm misinterpreting it. Alright. Whoa. I want to follow a pedestrian. This guy. Feeling happy. He wants to find a house that needs this happiness. So he says he's going home. He's trying to find a house. Okay, he found a house and gave some happiness to that house. So my goal is for all houses to have available slots for happiness at all times, so that my roaming public, these little zombie waves of walking people, will always have somewhere close by to go, so they don't just keep walking forever. Yay. Oh, he tried that house, but it was full. Too many people tried it all at once, so he failed. No, now he's going to try it again. Nope, it's full again. Come on, little guy. Here he goes. He's going to try the same house again. Yep. Tries it again. Nope, still full. Let's wait a little while. Come on, house. Lose some happiness so I can contribute. Oh, he's going to try this house. And it worked! Yay, he got this house. So, I don't know how to solve this problem. People have too much happiness, and houses aren't losing happiness fast enough. So my whole city is on completely maxed out happiness, and yet there's still shoppers sent out every shopping period. And those shoppers pick up happiness and then just roam the city trying to give it to somebody. And nobody wants it, man. Nobody needs additional happiness. We don't like these high taxes. Yeah, well, then be pissed off about it, man. Come on. Lose some happiness, bro. Those guys just lost a bunch of money. That should make them mad. Be mad. Nope, they're not mad. So I think I'm going to have to turn off the hospital, and yeah. Fire doesn't cause unhappiness in just the right way. Anyway, we'll start by not treating their illnesses. See if that gets them a little bit more angry. We could not pick up the trash, but that leads not only to homelessness, which I thought was kind of funny, right? Basically, homeless people make enough money to eat by recycling. So they go to stores where the city's recycling stuff hasn't shown up to pick up the recycling, and they pick it up and they carry it somewhere, and then they eat. And if they can't find enough recycling or garbage, like thrown away food, then they can't eat. Oh, it's working. Look at this. Look at all these little green guys. Okay, good. So turning off the hospital was the solution I needed. I think this is stable, right? And there's constantly people delivering happiness to buildings, then that means that they're not just roaming the streets randomly. So turning off the hospital was the answer. Anyway, if you clean up all the garbage and the recycling in your city, then the homeless people will give up and go to a different city. Which, it's a little bit, that's why they're in the bulldozing menu. The garbage the blowing things up menu will show you you're homeless. I always thought that was a little bit weird. Like, blowing things up is where you find your homeless? Interesting. It's because we want to blow up our homeless. Anyway, sorry. We got one abandoned building. No shoppers. Anyway, so now is the time, ham sandwich people, where we're gonna try to make the rest of the city look like this block, right? Because we're already at 370,000 people. You see the population was here, and then we blew up the commercial zones on this block, and it grew by 70,000. So we can gain 70,000 more people by doing that over and over on all of the other blocks. I'm not sure that that'll be a super interesting thing to watch, though, so I might stop recording and then do it, and then start recording again when I run into a problem. Or I might not. I think I might already be running into some problems, though. It's got a little bit of garbage. What's the complaint? Garbage dump full. Pfft, garbage dump full. It just means I need another incinerator. I already have 2. I've never needed a 3rd incinerator ever in the past. It's pretty impressive. It kind of seems to me like the sound is screwed up too, don't you think? Like, I just placed that incinerator and I didn't hear it, but if I zoom in over here, I don't hear any sounds of cars. I hear some sort of ambient noise. I hear kids playing. There's like all this traffic going on and you don't hear it. It's a little unnerving. Also, I noticed that when you zoom out, the cars are no longer shown too. That's different. See, they show up as like little black dots. I think this is because I reduced the texture quality of the game. Because it was a little bit choppy before. And that's the effect. Anyway. So, 7 p.m. rush hour. How's our traffic being handled? Handle it! Let's look at it this way. Alright, lots of commuter shopping, going to work at the great work. All these guys want to get to the freaking arcology. I'm so mad about that arcology. Some of these guys are shopping. Some of these guys are feeling happy and leaving the city. Yeah, the feeling happy leaving the city stuff is really what we're trying to solve by turning off our healthcare system. Maybe we need more criminals. People are dying all around us. See, that's good. That's good. Don't keep complaining about that, bro. Maybe we can get some of these people to not leave the city if you're just mad enough that all of your friends are dying. I think that's the solution. Anyway, let's start rezoning some stuff. Unzone. Alright, this one looks like this block is already done. So, we need to dezone. We'll make this one a commercial, and these 2 can be residential, not going to be commercial, and then these 3 can be residential, and then that can be commercial. Residential. That they can't up in density because of the shoreline. The shoreline, I'll put a little housey there. and there, and unzone this and this, and make some more residential. Oops. Then same thing in here. Only need one commercial, so the rest will be residential. Alright, time to blow things up. Yeah, even the sound of blowing things up is turned off. That song is so repetitive. I love Fun. They're a great group, but man, like they could have made that song 2 minutes shorter and it would have been exactly as good, if not better. Okay, so now we've got two segments of the city rezoned to be mostly residential. This should be causing lots of traffic problems, but I'm okay with that for now. Let's do this. Blow them up. And blow up these two, and this one, and make them all come back residential. Oh. Forgot to dezone first. That's confusing. Okay. And I got a really legitimate and good question, actually multiple times from different people, saying, like, I thought you wanted a challenge, you're just doing the same thing you already did in those fast forward videos, and you know it's going to work, so what's the point? You should do something more challenging, like having tons of crime, or doing cities where the commercial and residential zones aren't mixed and everyone has to get to work by bus or by train or whatever. And I agree, and I will probably do things like that in the future, but I felt like the initial request for a Let's Play was just saying, you know, we don't like watching these fast-forwarded guides, we want to see how you did it, like, nitty-gritty, each decision solved. So I'm just, yeah, I'm doing, kind of repeating the stuff I've already done and recording it along the way right now. So challenges will have to come next, man. Challenges will have to come next. So it looks like, I mean, we expected this to cause some traffic, but it looks like there's a lot of traffic that isn't even coming from that, what we were just doing. It's coming from some other source. Dun, 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 dun. There's a lot of, yeah, all these people have money and they're looking for a place to shop. That means that they ran out of goods. Another, I mean, in the patch notes of 2.0, they were saying that they made it harder to have non-industrial cities, so maybe they just reduced the number of goods. No, that wouldn't make sense, because then I would need more commercial, not less. I don't know. But this is certainly a lot of people looking for a place to shop. A lot of people. And if we look at the blue bars, the goods bars, it looks like those show up at 6 p.m. So all these people roaming the city looking for a place to shop are suddenly going to be able to find places to shop. Yeah, that's a motel. Somebody else also pointed out that I was noticing that some of my buildings had no goods for sale. They were saying that's because they're hotels. That seems to be accurate. So especially these areas we just rezoned, we're getting like 3 apartment buildings that we want all of them to shop right here. And this place is only going to generate 500 goods or something, merchandise. So we expected a little bit of extra traffic to be created, but we also expected our population to go up, but because of all this additional, probably partially because of our 20% tax rate, and then partially because the roads are clogged with these shoppers who can't seem to find any goods anywhere, we've actually lost population rather than gaining it. Maybe no new people will move in so long as the tax rate is 20%. I know that they did that in SimCity 4. If you could disable a certain type of zoning by setting the tax rate really high for it. So let's put our tax rate back down to 12% for a little while. It's a lot of shoppers, man. Alright, where is the city exit? There it is. Roaming waves of shopping people. There's goods right next to you. You're literally at a store. Where are you going, buddy? Where are you going? So these, the hordes of zombie shoppers, again, they happen when a bunch of people leave their house all intending to go to the same store, and then that store runs out of merchandise. So then they try to go to the next closest store. And with when people try to walk to work, if they can't find a job within a certain number of hours, they consider themselves fired and they just go back to the nearest residence. But when they go out to shop, I think that they give themselves an unlimited amount of time to find a place to shop. Like, that guy just disappeared. He didn't even ever find a place to shop. Okay, so they went shopping there. That's good. Let's look for more zombie waves. Lots of people walking across the street to shop. That's perfect. That's just what we want to see. Alright, so lowering the tax rate solved the problem. I'm not sure how the two are related. Going to work. There are great places to work. What's up with these guys they're commuting to work, trying to join this avenue, and it's becoming a difficult task for them. So lots of people from this row and this row are heading to work down this road and over here and over here. I feel like this again is just the arcology problem, because they could have just worked across the street. There are plenty of available jobs right next to where this guy came from. So he came from this house, and there are available jobs right there. But he's driving somewhere. And I think this is the arcology thing. I think he's driving to the arcology. So we got a lot of people not... Like, I would never expect there to be someone on this road going to this road. That doesn't seem to make sense. I would expect anyone who got on this road to be leaving the city. Right? Because everything, like, we have these, the spokes, the little portions of the wheel, and they're all identical. They all have the same amount of stuff. So why would somebody who wants a job go to a different spoke? That doesn't seem right. The cross-spoke transport is causing problems. Spokane. We're up to 390,000 people, but we got some serious traffic issues. Feeling happy going home. Again, a lot of people coming from these side streets and heading all the way down here with the intent of getting this way. Doesn't make any sense to me. Let's look at the density. Is there a big density differential between where they're headed and where they came from? Something's different, but we just got to figure out what, and then all will be well. So this house sent out shoppers. They went across the street and shopped, and then the shoppers wanted to go home, but this house has max happiness. But there are other houses in the city on this side of the city that don't have max happiness yet, so everybody in the whole city is trying to get there to give them happiness. I think that's what's going on. So we run into problems when everyone has max happiness, then people start leaving the city, and that's a problem. But when everybody but one house has max happiness, then everybody in the city tries to get to that house, and that's an even bigger problem. Right? Because at least the city exit was designed intentionally to be an efficient place for large numbers of people to get to, right? Everyone from different spokes comes to the middle of the map and goes along large avenues up and out of the city. But imagine if everybody in the city wants to get to this house right here, right? There's this little street, and there's only 2 spokes that lead to it. So, and especially people coming from this spoke trying to get to that spoke have to drive past and therefore possibly block other spokes on their way over to where they're trying to get to. So I think that's causing the problem. I'm going to set tax rate to 0. I'm going to max everyone out on taxes, on happiness, and get people to start leaving the city again. Hopefully that'll alleviate this nonsense. I also am really upset with whatever I changed graphically, because I need to be able to see geometry high, animation detail high. See if that fixes it. When I zoom out in this mode, I want to actually see cars. Okay, yeah, I think it's geometry detail. Wow, we're all gridlocked, man. First time gridlocking in this city. Pretty soon, everything's gonna burn down. Okay, what's going on? This guy's going shopping, and for some reason he's driving to that store. There are people in both directions going to shop. Okay, so traffic is moving. This right here is a problem. This right here is a problem. These streets are not a problem. This is not a problem. This is not a problem. Not a problem. Now we got the city entrance. Came from the arcology, done working, returning home. I think it's okay. We've only got like 3 streets not moving. 400,000 people. Traffic starts to become more of an issue, I guess. I knew it'd happen eventually, somewhere between 400,000 and 600,000. In my other circle city, traffic was smooth as butter till 400K, and then I had to use mass transit to get it up to 600. So it seems like that's what we've run into as well. Traffic moves, but it moves too slowly. So by 6 a.m. the roads are still clogged, and it's not working out. Daddy. Hey, little dude. Daddy? Yes, my friend? Where's the bubble gum? I do not know the answer to that question, but I already told you that, so you're asking again why. Go upstairs and look for a plastic bag with a bunch of groceries in it, and there will be bubble gum in that bag. Yeah, got fired. Going shopping. It's not good, man. Time to add mass transit, I think. Okay, so I mean, that's actually another comment a lot of people have gotten is like, well, how come you don't have mass transit? I like to get a city as big as I can without it, then only add it when it's really necessary. So up till now, every time there's been traffic, it's been due to an obvious reason that I could figure out and solve. But this time, it just seems like there's traffic of all types on all streets. And that just means that we don't have the capacity to support this kind of stuff. Look at it's all shoppers. Almost all shoppers. Simon, I understand that you don't know where the bubblegum is, but neither do I, okay? I guess we ran out of merchandise. We got 400,000 people trying to shop, and we have enough merchandise that everyone can theoretically shop, but it's distributed too sparsely throughout the city, so we just cause tons and tons of traffic. So by reducing the number of shops in the ratio of shoppers to unsold goods, right? We used to have exactly twice as many goods as we needed, and now we have a 2 to 1 ratio. And that seems to have caused the problem, I think. It used to be that everyone could walk to shop, and now not everyone, but a large number of people are driving to shop. Dun, 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 dun. And we can test the hypotheses by these are the two portions of the city that I've adjusted, and if we just blow up all the buildings, then that will test whether or not we were correct in assuming that caused the problem. Of course, if we do that, we're gonna have to wait for the buildings to repopulate later on when we try to fix it. So 2 choices. Basically, everyone in the city needs to get everywhere in the city because there's a limited number of goods and they can't get to them easily enough, right? So we can either adjust that by making it so that that's no longer true, by adding more shops, especially to these rows, right? Where did you come from? You came from right there. Or we can add mass transit so that when people do want to go shopping, they just take the bus. It's a lot of shopping going on, man. It seems like a lot more shopping going on than before. But again, we're at 400,000 people. You know, I read in the patch notes, they said that the difficulty of the game is based on how much money you've earned. So by earning a bunch of money, you're proving to the game that you're willing to accept the next level of challenge, and that difficulty scaling was disabled before 2.0 and that it's enabled now. That's kind of a simplification of what it said. But maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. I kind of doubt it. The traffic's sort of starting to clear up. Will it be clear by 6 a.m.? Even if it is, this is not a sustainable amount of traffic. People can't get where they need to go. We don't need any hotels. That's why I blew that building up. Oh, you know what? Some stores are open at different hours. Like, there are some stores that are only open at night and other stores that are only open during the day. So before, when we had a massive overstocking of stores, we had tons and tons of stores. Ooh, that was cool. Watching people at 6 a.m. go shopping. When we had far too many stores before, there was always something open for people to get to. But it's possible that right now we're getting huge traffic before 6 a.m. and then it's clearing up around 5 a.m. because at night, I think all the stores are closed except for a small number. And so, yeah, that seems reasonable. So in the middle of the night, a bunch of people go shopping, but none of the stores are open. So you got tons of traffic at night, which is completely unrealistic. They should just not go shopping at night. Or maybe they went shopping earlier, but they couldn't get to the store before it closed. And then instead of going home and waiting until the next day to shop, they just kind of roam the roads waiting for the stores to open. So I think that's what's happening. So I need more roadhouses. Roadhouse. Roadhouse. That's what I need. If you're wondering why it just kicked me out of the game and is letting me back in, I think there's a 45-minute like time limit. It seems like let's check. Ooh.